Good morning, YouTubers. This is your zip code Farik. Matt Shiny here in the 92805 zip code of DCF Studios in Southern California on this Saturday, January 31st. And this video zip code is 01072, Shutesbury, Massachusetts, in the western part of the state, about 80 miles west of Boston and about 30 miles north of Springfield, and it's also part of that city's metro. Shutesbury is again considered to be in western Massachusetts. It was part of the Nipmuc, that's the local people, indigenous people before the Europeans came, their planting grounds, and their name for the place, which I'm not going to even bother to pronounce here, their name for the place translated to difficult land, which, for what they're doing, it was, and still is. It's kind of a tilted upland valley. It's got ravines, it's got rocks, got plenty of forest, kind of difficult to deal with the rocky soil and trying to farm and do other things. It still goes on today, though, by the folks that are there now, who settled the place in 1735 as Road Town. It was called that because a road was built from Boston to there by the folks settling the area. And it was renamed Shutesbury in 1761 after the governor of Massachusetts, Samuel Shute. The area has 1,448 people as of the last estimate and 20.1 square miles, so it's pretty rural. It's not densely populated. The main business of the place was originally timber, but most of that was cut down, and there was an extensive reforesting program. So now the tourists are only second to crops here, which are vegetables and hay, tomatoes, blueberries, potatoes, such like that. One unique thing as far as their attractions was the hot springs that are here, and it used to support a bottling effort. They would take the water and pull it out of the springs and bottle it and sell it. That really doesn't happen much anymore, but the hot springs are still here, and tourism is a big draw for this area. It's one of its mainstays, as well as organic farming. Shutesbury, the demographics here, of those 1,448 people, 86.2% of them are white, 11.3% of them are Hispanic, 1.5% of them are two or more races, 0.7 of them are Asian, and 0.3 of them are black. Median household income here is $103,188 per year. While that sounds high, for Massachusetts it's middle of the pack because there's pretty high incomes in this state throughout, most of it. So it is middle of the pack, but still pretty comfortable. It's out, as far as population, it's 450 out of 532 zip codes, their demographics. So it's, again, very relatively unpopulated place. There are, most of the people here that are notable are Massachusetts or New England affecting. They're not really national. There's two that stand out from the pack. I'm going to mention them briefly. Augustine Burroughs, from our time here, is an author who wrote about a dozen books, the most famous of which is Running with Scissors, a memoir of his own life, and I'll let you look further into his things, because what I read about him, I don't really want to get into here. But another man who is even, I say in his own way, even more effective for what he did, is a man by the name of Herbert Baxter Adams from the late 19th century. Born 1851, died 1901. He was a scholar. He was a social scientist, historian, and he studied in Germany and brought back their critical methods and applied them to social science. He had his famous history seminar at Johns Hopkins. He was born here in Shutesbury. He didn't stay here. As I said, he taught at Johns Hopkins, had his seminar. He also taught at Smith College, which was a female college. And he influenced men like John Dewey, who is known to be the father of modern American education, for better or for worse, and also Woodrow Wilson, who became our 28th president. Both these men were influenced by his history seminar, and also Frederick Jackson Turner, the famous historian as well, by what he taught in this seminar. One thing that can be said of him, his influence was greater than his work, which is fair to middling epitaph for him. So Shutesbury, as far as weather, typical Massachusetts inland weather, DFB climate for the Copen freaks are among us, meaning average temperature in the summer months is still below 72 degrees. That's still considered warm summer. Right now it's 13 degrees. Tonight is 4 below for the low. Sunday, 20 degrees for the high, 2 for the low, and it's cloudy. Monday, 31 for the high, -6, and it's partly cloudy. And Tuesday, high of 31, low of 1 degree, partly cloudy. And it's going to be cloudy the rest of the week. One more thing about Shutesbury. They don't have streetlights. They have what's called enforced darkness for what they do in order to forestall light pollution. So be careful when you go there. If you like, hit subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. I welcome all comments no matter what. And have a good day. We'll see you in the next video.